My name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. Today, I want to talk about data privacy and Apple's recent settlement of $95 million for a Siri lawsuit. So, in this particular lawsuit, which was in the U.S. District Court of Northern District of California, Apple settled this particular suit. It spanned for about a 10-year period in which it is alleged that Siri, when you use it on your Apple iPhone and is listening, the way that the functionality is supposed to work is that if you have a word, maybe there's a trigger word, you say, "Hey Siri," or something else, and that triggers Siri to listen and actually respond to your particular voice command. What is alleged in this lawsuit is that Siri a lot of times was listening a lot more than times when people had trigger words, and that data was being retained and even listened to by particular contractors that were working on that project. The problem with this, and actually this particular instance is just another example in how digital systems work. So I tell companies that digital systems are created to remember data, not to forget it. So these particular always on voice command types of things have a prospect typically. The way that they're developed is to really listen to a lot, more than what you probably think that it listens to, but is incumbent upon the company to maybe take an extra step after that to decide what happens with that data, whether that be the data is not retained or retained for a very short period of time, whether that data is, erased after a certain period of time, whether there are processes in place to maybe filter out things that maybe weren't supposed to be listened to. And those things are harder to do for companies. So, we've also seen this particular type of instance in litigation and lawsuits against companies like Amazon and Google. This is very prevalent actually in the Internet of Things space, especially in like smart homes and things where maybe smart TVs where you're, doing voice commands and things. It's not clear to an individual what the devices are listening to, and it's definitely not clear on what's being retained. In this particular case, I think they say for affected devices, if you were someone who was using this particular feature within that 10-year period, you may be eligible for up to $20 refund for a particular device. Also, Apple says it will no longer retain those audio recordings, and the final settlement will be pending approval by the court. So I think this is another example, a big example of how companies really need to think about data retention, because this is probably, data collection. I always say data collection and data retention are things that cause privacy problems for companies, especially the retention part. So companies traditionally haven't been in a place where they regularly delete things. And so being able to retain data, it just creates more risk for companies. So it remains to be seen how this will play out. I guess I'm pretty sure that the court will accept this particular settlement, but I know that there'll probably be a lot more types of cases like this, again, because it's so easy to have these systems remember stuff and it's harder to get them to forget things. That's it. Thank you.